Twitch chat room, take 1.
What's something you're confident that you do really well?
Dancing.
I think hold conversations with people.
I'm super confident in my art skills.
Martial arts.
I'm super confident in my art, and I feel like I do a really good job drawing and painting and everything just because I practiced it for so many years now.
Martial arts, just because I've done it for such a long time.
For me, it's like having conversations with people, which is funny because like I'm such a major introvert, but I love like the learning process that you get.
I think for me, it's dancing. It's something that I've always done. I never really had to think about it.
If someone asked if you were overall a confident person, what would you say and why?
I try to be confident all the time. But recently I found like how much I try to prove myself to other people, prove my identity, prove even like through the outfits I wear and the way I interact with other people.
I wouldn't say yes immediately. I'm quiet and I'm a huge overthinker. So it's like things like that do hurt my confidence. But whenever it does come to God, I do feel like complete confidence, and I feel like that's where I can find my identity.
I think people would agree that I'm a confident person. I usually, go in head first, just ready to learn and try new things.
People look at me as a fairly confident person. Like, there's not many times where I feel like I'm tripped up or like scared.
In the moments when you do feel pretty confident, what leads to you feeling that way?
Doing something, like after I've done it multiple times and I'm going to do it again, that's when I feel confident because I'm like, oh, I've done this before. What's going to be different about it this time?
When I can just step back and like bring light to the situation and like even organize how I'm thinking about things, then I'm like confident in the way that how I'm thinking about something, how I'm like approaching something, or even how I'm doing something.
And whenever I'm so people focused, that's when I notice that I'm the least confident.
When David went to go fight Goliath, right? And he went to go try on, I think, was it his father? His father's like breastplate on, like his armor basically, and it was like too big for him. But like to his father's like, you should fight in this. This is what warriors use to go fight. But David's like, no, I can't wear that. I'm gonna go out there with a slingshot. I feel like God, in certain points of our lives, gives us things like that, where it's like, don't put on that armor that people say you should use. Use this slingshot that I gave you, like throughout your whole life. Like, remember those moments when you beat bears and lions and tigers and stuff like that. Use that.
Do you have a story about a time you wished you had showed up more confidently?
Back whenever I tried gymnastics and I used to do dance a lot. I had confidence in my dance, but other people made me feel like I didn't. And I really wish I could go back and see myself with more confidence and pray more and just not care about what other people think of me.
I went through a period in my life where I thought I had to be like super tough. And like the funny thing is like I consider myself tough. Like I can handle some pretty major stuff I have in the past, but like tough to an unhealthy standard. Whereas like it's not okay to cry. It's not okay to show emotion. Like I was changing my entire personality to become someone that I totally wasn't.
I had grew this idea that I was good to bad people. So now I'm gonna be bad to people. And just being confident in the fact that maybe I am a nice person and I don't have to be mean to everybody now because I got hurt before.
Maybe you need a perspective shift. What lens do you see yourself through most often?
Like the most automatic shift is like a negative lens. It's so easy for me to like overthink a situation or even like think, oh my gosh, like you're so insecure.
The kind of lens I see myself through is like what the actions I'm doing right now, how are these going to affect me in the future? And how are they going to affect the people around me?
If you were to ask Jesus how he sees you, what are some of the things that you think that he would say?
I don't know, that question made me think about Job. Like in the beginning of the Bible, God said, look at my humble servant, right? Like he's almost perfect, basically, like blameless, right? I try to see it the way Jesus sees me, right? Like that's my effort every day because situations are going to change. I'm going to go through a lot of different things the same way Job did, right? What Job did that was good throughout his story was he stayed the same throughout everything and he never blamed God, right? Like no matter when he went out into boils, right? He stayed this is my humble servant. Like everything stayed the same. God never changed what he said about Job. So Job never could change what God said about him. You know what I'm saying?
I just picture him saying, like, you are loved and you are enough. And I think about the woman at the well and how he met her there. And he listed off every single wrong thing that she did. And she went off full of joy and telling other people about Jesus. Like, the way that he was so compassionate towards her.
Just that I'm enough where I am right now. And that plays into confidence and everything like that, just because I struggle with it so much and I never see myself living up to these standards I have in my head, especially in the future. And I feel like he would just want me to know that I'm enough and I'm enough right now.
I think he would say that I have a servant's heart because I know my parents tell me that. I always try to look for ways I can help them.
What questions do you still have about gaining confidence?
I think what I wrestle with the most is not letting other people's perceptions of me get in the way of how I truly am.
Lord, like, why did you give me so many abilities, right? Because, like, if you look at like a tree, it kind of has like one job. Like, you just grow and you give me oxygen. Like, rain has one job. It just does what rain does. The sun just shines. You know what I'm saying? But I could be a doctor if I wanted to. I could be a lawyer. I have to speak to people. I have to code at work. Like, there's so many things that I have. I'm prone to lacking confidence in because there's so many things that I could do. He made us so able. So I guess I have to be confident in that, right? Like, that I'm able.
Why do we have to deal with that? Like, why do we need to hear about, like, why do we need to hear what other people think of us?
In what area of life do you most need to step into confidence?
Confidence that God's gonna use me in wherever I end up in the future.
One area I need to step into confidence is friendships.
Confidence in what God can do in and through me.
I need to be more confident in managing my time.